Hey team, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to look at the output clause of the insert statement. We got three great examples for you to learn. Hopefully you can stick all the way through and then become the master of this utility. The three things I'll be talking about today are the insert statement using the output, how it can be used to return information from the rows. For an example, like the identity column, timestamp column, a computed column, etc. The second example is how to redirect the output to another table like an audit trail, which is very, very awesome. And the third one is when not to use this feature. For instance, if a table has a foreign key, this doesn't work. So stick around, team. Let us perform action one. First, create a table. Notice identity in date. I'm going to create that table. And now we're going to do the insert statement. Notice I say insert, the column's identity is auto, so output. Now to show the output clause, you say inserted and then the field name you want to see. Notice here, ID is an identity column. Normally you never get to see that. But here, after we do each insert, we're going to get that come to the screen. So notice here we've got location, start date, end date. Let's perform this insert statement. Execute, and notice the output comes to the screen. That is example one. Here we go, lesson two. Let's create that table again, new table, 4 columns. Execute. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create an audit trail table. This one right here is a real table, and let's see what happens there. And then notice that I will come down here and I will say insert into, what is the name of this table? Audit trail. That's a real table. And now I'm going to execute this statement. Execute, and 5 rows, and now I can go look at that table, audit trail, and that is a real audit trail. I mean, it's like the input that went into that insert statement is now in another table called audit trail, and it shows me, my successes. Now what I can also do is I can create a temporary table. And you'll notice here, I'm just using the name of the object. The inputs to this table have to be the same as what you're putting here in your line 40. So, but you can call it whatever you want here. Notice here, I'm declaring a variable at table of type table, and notice that I'm calling it A, start date, end date. I don't have no field called A, it's just a placeholder, right? So notice it's a placeholder for this integer. And now, instead of audit trail, I'm going to say add table. Now, in order for this to work, I have to use this declare statement all the way down here to this select star from that temporary table. Let's see what happens. And there you go. That's the way you do it. That is example. In example 3, we're going to see how a foreign key messes up the day. All right, let's create a table. Execute. That's my first table. My second table is going to be this lookup table, a little table. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, let's go ahead and insert some data into that second table. It's our master table. It's a lookup table. And then I'm going to alter that first table, new table 2, way up here. And I'm going to set up a foreign key between the location in that table and location ID 2 in this table. So there's going to be a foreign key between these two. So let's do that right there. And go ahead and say, do that. Okay, so cool. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do this insert into this table, and I'm going to say output is here. But what's going to happen is this is going to fail. Let's see this go kaboom. Kaboom. So insert statement conflicted with a foreign key constraint. So now if I come up here and remove this foreign key and retry this, life is good. So there you are, the 3 lessons, everything about insert, output, and the audit trail. You got it.